when you get more complex with your coding, you're going to be able to go into these flow control options and really start to take advantage of them. For example, when you use this switch, this is going to allow you to really effectively use your color sensor. We used to call it a light sensor, but now with the new EV3s, it's called a color sensor. You'll notice that this too has a mode selector. Right now it's set to touch sensor compare state. It's got these options here. Looks like it's a press. And then we have this top section, which has a check, and the bottom section, which has an X. Another way you can think of it is, okay, this top part is if what we're talking about here is true, the robot's going to do this set of instructions, and this bottom section here is false. And to have your robot do a line follow, you're actually going to use this switch with the color sensor, and you're going to go to compare reflected light intensity, and you'll see that it's kind of got this arrow coming down and bouncing up, which means that this is going to measure the light reflecting off of the mat. And the reason this is helpful is because if it's black on the mat, it's not going to be reflecting as much light as if it were white. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to say, okay, if this is right now set to less than 50 reflected light, which is probably going to be your black, we are going to want the robot to do a certain set of instructions. And if it's not true, we want it to do a different set. And if you think about the video of the color sensor line follow challenge, you notice that it kind of wiggled back and forth. And what it was doing was it continuously analyzed the information coming back from the color sensor, and it kept saying, okay, on the black we're going to see an intensity less than 50, so we want it to swing the robot to the right. And what will happen is it'll swing off of the black and find a color intensity greater than 50, in which case we want it to swing back to the left. And so to do this, we can go into our move control here, and I'm actually going to go to the motor option, large motor. I'm going to click, I'm going to drag up for true, because if it's true, I'm going to leave this set to B, and I want B to be on, and I want to specify that I also want, not only do I want B to be on, I want C to be off, and I'm going to change this from A to C. And what this will do is, if it sees black, it's going to swing the robot to the right, which will swing the color sensor off of the black line, in which case we'll fall into this category here of being false. So again, I want to take my large motor and I'm going to drag it up, but now I want to do the opposite. Now instead of B being on the whole time, I want it to be off, because I'm going to want that robot to wiggle back over to the black line. So I'm going to drag this up to, again, Control C as well, change it to C, and I want C to be on. And what this is going to do is this is going to cause the robot to swing left and right, almost like an elephant walking, swinging its trunk, where that light sensor is going to go on the black part where it's going to be less than this 50 threshold, and it's going to swing the robot to the right, and that'll swing it over the white space, which will then make it greater than this 50 threshold, which is going to make this false, which is going to swing it back to the left. And we're going to continue to have this happen. Another way that you can do this is you can actually, instead of having them on, you can have it on for rotations, and you can actually set the power. Oh, excuse me. You don't have to do it. You can leave it off. Since this one was off, I was looking at the wrong one. Instead of having it off, you can have it on, but have it be at a lesser power. And what this will do is this will allow you to have a smoother line follow. So instead of C just shutting off and B spinning the robot around, instead C is going to stay on, but it'll just kind of slow down, allowing that light sensor to still kind of swing off of the black line. And this will continue to happen for as long as you want it to. Actually, that's not true. This is only going to happen once. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to include this in a loop, and that's in another tutorial. Good luck.